Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you all my luxury beauty empties from the year of 2023. So this was an interesting, so I've been deciding to save up my empties every year and going over them in the January mark because therefore I can determine what products I need to buy less of and what products I can maybe add more to my collection. This also has re-inspired me. So I will be finally doing my declutter series on my channel because I just only want to have a maximum of 10 per category in my collection. So I really want to go through my collection and only keep the 10 best because really, am I going to use my 11th favorite bronzer? No, that doesn't sound very realistic. So I am going to make a really big effort to be very, very picky with my choices this year. And even if I do pick up more products because sometimes I do review products on my channel, I'm going to be very picky with what I let you know is worth it to pick up because obviously I just prefer having a more curated collection and I think it's just more realistic as well. And going through my empties this year really lets me know that I don't need to buy any more bronzers or blushes or highlighters because I literally went through 0 of those this year. So that's going to be a goal of mine, is to go through more product. And I'm going to kind of have that mindset of one in, one out. So when I have my 10 bronzers that are in my collection, if I want to add one to my collection, I really need to think about getting rid of a bronzer because that's just silly to me to have more than that. And yeah, that's just going to be, I think, an interesting project on my channel and an interesting journey. So let's just get started with the empties. I'm going to start with skincare. So I have this Paula's Choice Smoothing Primer, Broad Spectrum SPF 30. This primes, protects, and perfects. I really love this primer. It does perfect the skin, so it's a really beautiful smoothing primer. I like to use this as a last step in my skincare routine. So I only use it basically in the center of my face where I just want the most smoothed area of my skin. Beautiful blurring effect. I really like this. It is a little bit finicky. It doesn't work perfectly with every foundation. Like, it doesn't work well with water-based products. So if I'm using my Chanel Water Fresh Tint, I will not use this because they don't play well and nice together. That's the only downfall of that, but I really like this and I did repurchase it. I have the Ulta MD UV Clear Broad Spectrum SPF 46. This is the tinted version. I don't like this. I feel like I'm the only person that doesn't, but it pills. So basically, I could use this if I'm not applying any foundation or any makeup on top, but if I use this underneath makeup, it pills, it ruins my makeup, it's terrible. It's the worst thing I've ever tried under makeup, so no. Hated this, will not be repurchasing it. I went through 2 of the Alumier MD Sheer Hydration Broad Spectrum SPF 40. This is a tinted moisturizing sunscreen lotion. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with this product. It is so smoothing. It gives a very sheer tint of coverage. I would say it's similar to like the Chanel Water Fresh Tint where it gives like a sheer hint of coverage. It's basically no coverage, but just gives you a little bit of color. I would wear it on its own just without any makeup because I don't mind that, but it's absolutely beautiful. This product works gorgeously with, even if you apply a primer over top of this, it works beautifully. If you apply any sort of makeup product, you can use the Chanel Water Fresh Tint, which is water-based. Any foundation, this works well. It just plays very beautifully with all of their makeup products. Sits on the skin so beautifully, does not look like product on the skin. Love this. I have repurchased this. I have another one going. It's the best. I also have the Paula's Choice Intensive Repair Cream with Retinol. This is my moisturizer that I use every night. This is something I've used for years and I will continue to repurchase, and I have already repurchased it. Love this stuff. I also did go through the Chantecaille Jasmine and Lily Healing Mask. Actually, I didn't really go through this. I have to get rid of this because I've had this for 2 years. The company actually sent this to me. Don't recommend this. This is supposed to be great for sensitive skin, but unfortunately I have sensitive skin. This is a no for me. Chantecaille skincare, unfortunately, I love their makeup. I have nothing bad to say about their makeup, but their skincare is not great if you have sensitive skin like me. It just makes me break out. The ingredients are not great if you have sensitive skin or acne prone skin. So unfortunately that's a no for me. But I know a lot of other people like that. Let's move on to foundation products. I went through a lot of foundations this year, which excites me. So I have to say, I go to the gym every single day, and on work days, obviously, and then I'm going before work. And a lot of the time when I go to the gym, I apply a little bit of makeup, and then I want to remove it, and then I'll apply makeup again. So I do tend to go through foundations a little faster because of that. So I went through a lot of foundations. I did go through the Chanel Beige Water Fresh Tint in the shade Medium. One of the best products for a no makeup look. It gives you a sheer tinted coverage. Wow. And I like to use this in the spring and summertime especially. It's beautiful in the winter as well. I think I just go for that more no makeup look in the spring and summertime. So I went through one of these. It's the best. I have repurchased this. I actually have 2 backups currently that I'm using. Love that product. I also went through the Sisley Phyto Tint Nude Foundation in the shade 2W Light Beige. I love this foundation. It's basically, I would say it's very similar to the Chanel Water Fresh tint. It just gives a little bit more coverage, but this is gorgeous if you are looking for that really blurring filtered look, but your skin still looks like skin. So it really reminds me of like the Chantecaille anti-aging face tint. It gives that same kind of effect where it's very smoothing and blurring. Gorgeous, love this product. Will I repurchase it? I have not repurchased it yet. I would consider repurchasing this in the summertime, but I'm going to wait to see if I miss this product. But I really do like this, and I have nothing bad to say about it. So this is a product I would consider repurchasing. I just have not repurchased it yet. I also went through a Dior Capture Totale Super Potent Serum Foundation in the shade 3N. This seems to be discontinued. I'm so sad because this is one of my holy grail foundations. I do have a backup currently that I'm working through. I wish you could still get this. I'm guessing they're reformulating this, but upsetting because I absolutely love this formulation of it. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what's happening with this, but I can't find it in Canada. Maybe it's still available in the States. I'll link it if I can find it, but I love this and I would absolutely repurchase it. And I even tried to repurchase it, but it just was sold out, so I haven't been able to. I also went through a Chantecaille Future Skin Oil-Free Gel Foundation. I love this foundation. I will say one downfall about this is that it is only good for 12 months, and you need to use it within that 12 months because this will smell bad after 12 months. So it's one of the foundations that you need to really stick to that expiry tag with this one because probably because of the jar, I'm guessing, but I did go through this. I love it. I was planning on repurchasing it, but Chantecaille actually kindly sent me another Future Skin, so I currently have that on stock, but I would have repurchased this myself because I love this foundation. It's a beautiful skin-like foundation. It makes your skin still looks like skin, but you just look a little bit more perfected, a little bit more blurred and filtered. It doesn't cover up completely. Like I would say you could get a medium coverage, like the absolute max, but it just makes your skin look so gorgeous. You just look like a better version of yourself with this foundation. Love it. And then I also went through a Chanel Sublimage L'Essence de Teint in the shade B40. I've already repurchased it. So I repurchased it in a B40, and then I also repurchased it in a B30 because I'm actually like a B30 and B40 mixed together, and I love it so much that I bought 2 shades, and I'm really happy I did. This is my new holy grail foundation since this Dior is discontinued. It's beautiful, it's elegant on the skin, it makes your skin just look beautiful and glowy, but not too glowy. It's blurring, it's filtered, it's long wearing. This is my perfect like special occasion foundation, but it's also light enough to wear on an everyday basis, and it has skincare benefits. Love, love, love. So that's definitely a repurchase. And then I also went through the Guerlain Parure Gold Matte Foundation. It's kind of faded off this bottle, but I really loved this foundation. I actually went through these 2 bottles because I bought 2 of them. That's how much I liked it. However, you can't seem to buy this in the United States. It's like a Canada exclusive and it's Selfridge exclusive. So I will not be repurchasing it just because it's a little bit hard to get a hold of. It also has a pretty strong fragrance, and it is extremely comparable to the Prada Reveal Foundation, which looks like it's coming to Sephora. I like this one a little bit better because it's a little bit more skin-like. This one's a tiny bit more similar to the Prada, and I prefer the Prada a little bit more because it doesn't have that scent. I just think it looks a little bit even better on the skin. I have decided not to repurchase this one, and I will continue to repurchase the Prada one because I like it even more. So while I did like these foundations at the time, and I still would recommend them, and I think they're beautiful foundations, I just like the Prada one a little bit more. So I'm excited this will be available at Sephora. It's going to be a little bit easier to access, so I feel better about recommending this sort of product. So I am excited about that. And then for powders, I went through the Chantecaille Perfect Blur Finishing Powder. I already had bought a backup, so this is really broken. I loved this little packaging, it's gorgeous, so I'm sad about that, but yeah, I went through this. Really great powder, especially if you're someone that maybe has more discoloration or acne, or you need a little bit more coverage, because this adds a tiny bit of coverage and a tiny bit of color as well. So it's something that I use when I want my skin to look even more perfected. I definitely use my Clay to Peau one more, just on an everyday basis especially, but it's still a great powder. And then I also went through a Clay to Peau, the concealer in the shade Almond. This is something I repurchased as well. I really love this concealer. This is great if you have any discoloration again or acne. I don't love it under the eyes, but it's great on the face or even just on the corners of the eyes. That works well if you need to, like, sometimes, like, I like to do my eyeshadow first. You can clean up the edges. But I prefer this on the face. It's a gorgeous concealer that won't move. Sometimes concealers get cakey throughout the day, or they can be a little bit drying. This remains consistent all throughout the day, and it's beautiful. I went through a few different lip products. I went through the Huda Beauty Lip Contour in the shade Muted Pink. I liked the color of this, but this actually was not long wearing at all, so this is something I will not repurchase. It was okay, but I prefer the Charlotte Tilbury. And then I also went through a Too Faced Hangover RX Pillow Balm Lip Treatment. This is one of my favorites, like a holy grail lip product, and this is something I have repurchased as well. I love it. So hydrating, and just, it's such a thin consistency, but it feels moisturizing, so I love it. I also went through the Dior Lip Maximizer in the shade 012. I'm not sure what the shade name is. I really like this. It actually really reminds me of the Too Faced Hangover Lip Balm, Pillow Balm, but I think I like the Too Faced a little bit more. The Dior is a little bit of a thicker consistency, like slightly thicker, but they do really remind me of each other. But I still think the Too Faced one is a little bit more hydrating and just feels a little bit better on the lips. But I still really like this, and I would use it as a lip treatment as well. It's nice. Just prefer the Too Faced one. And then I also went through an Hourglass Voyer Waterproof Gel Liner in the shade Obsidian. This is something I have already repurchased. I love it. It's long wearing. It works great in the tight line. Highly recommended if you are looking for something in that area. It's just fantastic. I went through a Gucci Lip Obscura Mascara in the shade Black. This is something, again, I have repurchased. I really love this formula. I just wish they would bring it out in a brown, like I've mentioned so many times, but this formula is perfection. The length and volume this gives you, there's nothing better. I just wish the color was different. And then I have the YSL Lash Clash Mascara in the shade 2 Brown. This is something, again, I have already repurchased. The formula I prefer on the Gucci, but this formula is nice. It's just a little bit more dry. It still gives nice length and volume, but again, the Gucci one, I just prefer a smidge over because it's a little bit more long wearing. But I love this shade so much that I would repurchase this over the Gucci because of that. But yeah, oh, I actually went through 2 Gucci mascaras. So a good one. And then I also went through a Kosas brow gel in the shade Medium Chocolate Brown. This is my holy grail brow gel. I don't talk about brows a lot on my channel because it's called like feathered brows, not microblading. It's different. But because of that, I don't need to fill in my brows. I only need to use a brow gel. Highly recommend that method, by the way. But this is something I really love. It gives a nice tint, and I love this one. But that is all my empties. And again, when I reflect on my empties, I feel like this gives me a good starting point on what to focus on my 2024 beauty ventures, if you could say, or my 2024 beauty goals. So I definitely want to stay, like I used a lot of foundations. I would like to use some foundations up that I don't plan on repurchasing, and just getting some use out of some other foundations instead of just my holy grail foundations. Like I can use some other ones as well. I really need to use some bronzers and highlighters and blushes because I went through 0 of them this year. So I really need to be nitpicky about what I am keeping in my collection. I do not need to keep 20 different bronzers or 20 different blushes. That's just way too many, especially because I'm not going through any of those products. And I'm just someone, I'm a creature of habit. I don't like to use 12 different things every week. I like to use a few different products and have those like favorite products that I go back and forth between. Obviously, I like to have like spring bronzers and winter bronzers and bronzers with a glow and bronzers that are a little bit more matte, cream bronzers. I do like having different products, of course, but I don't need so many products where it's just overwhelming, where I just end up using one because I'm too overwhelmed with things in my collection. And I need to stop buying lip products. I probably will buy a few lip products, but I really need to use what I have in my collection before going out and buying more, because lip products are definitely the thing that goes bad the fastest, and I don't want to use something that I've used on my lips 3 years ago. Like, that's gross. I need to get rid of that stuff. So I'm going to have to do a big declutter, which again, you're going to see. And I feel like doing that declutter will allow me to see what I have room to add in my collection and what I need to stop buying. And I think that will be really valuable for me. So I'm really looking forward to this year and seeing what other products are going to come out, what are going to speak to me, what, like, will my Holy Grails be replaced? I don't know. It's always just so interesting to start off the year. But I hope you guys enjoyed this empties video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you like it. And I'll see you in my next video.